Breaking news out of Washington, the NTSB has confirmed that the critical last 4 minutes of data is missing on both the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder on the JeJu 737-800 that crashed in South Korea on December the 29th. Let's check it out. These critical last 4 minutes of missing data correlate with the fact that the ADS-B data was also missing for those last 4 minutes, and it looks like the last word that we heard from the crew was at 8:59 when they declared the Mayday. So 8:59 to 9:03 is roughly those last 4 minutes, indicating to me that this crew or this aircraft suffered some sort of major electrical failure. I've been scouring Chris Brady's 737 technical website to find the exact power source of both the CVR and the FDR, but thanks to some folks over on Patreon, I've narrowed it down to the source of electrical power for both the CVR and FDR apparently are AC transfer bus number 1 with the backup of AC transfer bus number 2. Which surprises me in the design of the 737. I would think it would be a more robust design if these critical items were either powered by an independent battery, which apparently this predates the FAA regulations requiring that the FDR and CVR have their own independent battery, or that they be wired up to the backup emergency electrical system, which in the 737 is the battery. In the event of the 737, if you were to lose the left AC bus and the right AC bus, the electrical system will default to the battery or the standby electrical system via the hot battery bus, which is hardwired to the battery, the switched hot battery bus, the battery bus, the DC standby bus, and the AC standby bus through this static inverter. Now here's the long laundry list of things that are still operational when the 737 is down to standby power, powered by the battery. But unfortunately, if the flight data recorder is not a part of this, is not powered by this standby system, and the flight data recorder is out, we have no idea what systems are operational in the aircraft. Remember, there's no RAT or ram air turbine in the 737 design. It doesn't need one because it uses this battery as the backup. And in this particular emergency, the crew did not have time to fire up the APU, the auxiliary power unit. That could have provided power, complete electrical power to the entire aircraft. But it takes time to spool up that APU. And all this data is crucial in the last 4 minutes because we're trying to answer the question, did the crew accidentally shut down the wrong engine? At this time, we don't know what buses were powered or unpowered. We don't even know what engines had power, some power, or no power. All this data is critical to the investigation of this accident. So remember, the Koreans said they downloaded the cockpit voice recorder information. And because of a damaged connector, they sent the flight data recorder just straight to the NTSB without trying to download any data. But here's what they say according to the Aviation Week article that just came out. The Boeing 737's 800 damaged flight recorder was sent to the NTSB in Washington, D.C. for data extraction. The cockpit voice recorder data was extracted in Seoul, but when investigators, there I assume, realized that some data was apparently missing, the CVR, the device, was sent to the NTSB for further analysis. So what happened to the critical 4 minutes of data on both the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder? Now the NTSB has to figure out why these two devices stopped recording before they can even begin to unravel exactly what happened with certainty in this accident. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.